And some of them, it's pretty straight.
All right, she's like, oh,
Connection thing is.
talking on the phone. We're looking at
She's showing everybody what the connection street is. I know, what I'm saying is our stream.
Oh.
This is like.
Oh, yeah.
We got half of that.
And it did okay. And I found that my kind of tank though, right? And my it showed it showed more of a echo, more of a shadow of the thing going around. So it looked like, okay, you can see them, but then it was like a shadow. Yeah, so then I see other people.
Yeah, I know.
What is this?
What's that? I've seen it a couple times. He was here last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it all straightened out.
I think so. I have short of really whether I see them a big tour.
Hey, we can shuffle around this way. There you go, sir. That's it. Good job.
So you got a better head for that shit than I
I'm an Apple guy. I did the TCC I worked on. The one I used to.
No, I haven't seen him all years. Oh, okay. I missed it. So I didn't- And we better check. Options you.
I started up. Restarted up, not just like a license. Yeah, for a pass, you know. No, I got this, that's all you need.
Oh, we bought it out. Yeah, I was only interested in the rest. Yeah, and there was no back.
Lady.
I was just gonna say, break down.
Okay, seven.
Like you,
I'll be managing whatever the hell.
Like showing everybody all your files.
Sure. Really, I might have plug it in as pops up like this.
What's that?
If I do that, plug this in my laptop.
I guess it started up pretty soon. I sat there, sort of same thing, for an hour and a half. I sat there. I told it to restart. And I sat there, said, updating Windows, connect, shut off the computer. And I sat there for an hour, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I turned it off, turned it back on, and it came on, and it was forever coming back on. And then I went to restart it again, and it was still, I mean, it was probably a good hour, 45 minutes. And do whatever it was. And finally, I got it to shut down and restart it, right?
The only time you need the internet is to download.
Yeah, but the minute you turn it on,
Just jumped up.
Yeah, you see the.
so when you go into just like do it by the date, and then just select the two.
Yeah, sure, friend.
Actually, I think you can just select the date.
Yeah, I think you're right. As long as they're both there.
Just what you want to do is go into where all the stuff is, and you just want to make sure it doesn't have like I did that for February, but and it did February. We went to February. I did like February, so like February 24th. And it can't be that. It's got to be the date. The folder has to be the date of the calendar. You'll see like.
Out here.
If you somebody here.
I'm asking it to do something.
You gotta do it.
So if you go here, it has to be.
What's in there?
Where?
Oh, yeah. Do your thing.
It's,
See about it. So it has to be that date.
All right. And
Right, it can't be like the one I did was said 02043 0225. It can't be that. It's gotta be. So whatever gives you that. If you put anything else in there, you gotta delete that folder. Otherwise it'll cause the program down.
do we need to pull and redone? I'll do it on Monday. I'll send you a couple screen grabs.
I don't know, do a Zoom meeting. Do a Zoom meeting or something.
I just wondered if they sent them out, because when that came,
Mike, yep. We got two mics. This one just turn on when you start speaking. Put that on here. And then this one is just for the live stream. So I'll clip that here too if you don't mind. I think we'll be good.
Whatever you want to do.
Remember, if you go to the bathroom.
yeah, when they came for the address, I figured they were pretty close to mailing.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, it's up for 30 days.
Come on, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Okay, so you know, we have Creative will be announcing
Okay.
and tell you the title. We have Black and White, everything is mixed in together. There are no other categories. So, and they're not in any ranked order.
Okay, so how many prints do you have?
Only 12.
12, okay.
Try to stay awake.
So I get the joy of introducing you. Any little biographical factoids I should be including?
Well, for 10 years, I was doing this.
Yeah.
But no, I don't do the critiques anymore, and my stuff goes over to Rochester for Image City.
Okay.
And so I sell quite a bit of my stuff over there. So,
You taking Dave's place tonight?
yeah.
Okay. Just while you're introducing
Yeah,
this.
they have their red exhibit now.
Yeah, so that one is one image for the first 80 photographers. And so one of that, if you've seen the poster
Yeah.
up on the top left-hand corner, that's.
I looked at your.
So I'm like, no pressure, just hold the teas and we can go.
Well, let me know which one is yours.
Gotta think about the King song now. Substitute? What was that? The King song substitute?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know you were gonna
He sent me detailed notes on what he wanted me to cover, so.
Yeah.
So is this already going? All right, folks. I'm Dave today. He's not able to come, but he sent me detailed notes on what he wants me to cover, so I'll make sure I hit all those points. You guys can send him a score after the fact. Let's see here. Among the little tidbits he's got here, he wants me to remind everybody that there is an open board position. So anyone interested, reach out to Dave. They're going to be voting on it, I think, in April. So if you have an interest in participating as a member of the board, Dave Fox is your man to talk to. Let's see here. Rainbow competition. He brought this up in the last meeting, but just wants to make sure everybody knows. The meeting on the calendar or in the communication says April 8th, but it says Monday. It is April 8th, but that's a Tuesday. So just so everybody's aware, we are hosting Rainbow this year. So it's here. We're going to have, yes?
We have no judges at this point.
Oh boy. Oh
I
boy,
told you at the meeting,
Steve?
so.
He already asked me.
Just so you know, I've talked to Scott Simons, and he hasn't gotten back to me.
Well, but if he's going to be participating, it's hard, right?
Well, asked if he knew anyone.
Oh, knew anyone. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, so we got some logistics still to go work through there. But it is, we are hosting, which the host usually has a potluck associated with that. There will be a sign-up sheet for the potluck. He didn't tell me when. It's not here now, right?
No.
No, so probably at the next meeting or something like that, we'll have it. So if you're interested in pitching in on the potluck, there'll be a sign-up coming. Let's see here. Let's see here. We are, one of the things that we're trying to do for content for next year is we want to have an outing committee. Instead of asking one person to kind of take on the burden of all of that, maybe have a committee of 2 or 3 volunteers so that we can get a number of people together so that no one person's responsible for running the show for these outings, coordinating everything, but also because only one person doing it, things get missed. If we have 2 or 3 people, different eyes looking at things, thinking about things, we can get a bit more of a representation of things that are happening in our area. So we're looking for 2 or 3 people that would be interested in contributing to that, so we can get a good committee going for our outings. And basically it'll just be kind of an initial brainstorming session to kind of map out the stuff that we already know that's going on, so we can get at least like an initial calendar entry, so we can have some stuff put into the calendar for print. So we have that available when we have our representation at the Erie County Fair, but that doesn't have to be the end date of it. We can always fill in as new events come up, but I'd like to get some people together for that. If you're interested, reach out to me. I'll gather the names for that. Let's see here. And that's pretty much it. Beyond that, we've got our judge here, Steve Dent. He's a longtime member of the club. Used to be the guy manning the light show. Now he's over here in the glare of the big lights for all of us. No sharp objects to throw at him, only throw soft things.
That's why you get behind here.
Any questions about the stuff I went over before I let it go? All right, good. Thank you. Here you go, sir.
So the first thing that you notice is the symmetrical of the image. It's very, very well centered. I like the idea. I've never seen using the green up on the glass so you know what's there, but it just gives a hint that there's a windshield there. It holds the sharpness all the way through. I like the water on the hood, and there's nothing blown out. Yeah, the chrome actually is holding it well. So 13. Nice action shot. Definitely get an idea of what's going on here. Sport events are one of those ones that's a little bit hard to shoot with the background. It's kind of noisy. You may be able to separate the background a little bit and tone that down a little bit. The lady in white definitely catches your eye. So from an where it catches my eye as it goes right to that woman in the white. But it's a nice action shot for sports, 12.
Creative ball of flowers. Yes, creative ball of flowers.
Nicely done. I think the background color could probably be a little bit farther away from the flowers or whatever it is up on the right-hand side. So you may want to rethink the color there because it's too similar to that upper right quadrant. I was really looking to see the focus all the way through to see whether it holds the focus, which it doesn't hold the focus all the way through. So you have to figure out which pieces are supposed to be in focus and which ones aren't. 12.
Next image is also creative. Nightlife. Thank you.
So it looks like the treatment that's on here, it's sort of cartoonish. And the overlay really brings out the sky. It's a nice set of colors. I like the leading line of the yellow lines on the street up to into the intersection. And you've got the same thing with the white light on the right-hand side where you've got the, bringing that down to the center, so it does bring your eye to the center point. 13.
An honorable mention for Bob Miller. No, sorry, it's fire hose.
If they put the wrong image in.
No, that's the one.
This one?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, wait. Oh,
This says 5, that says 6.
This one's in
Okay.
protection too.
this, we have that image.
Yeah.
That's what that was. Yeah.
No, different.
No, it's a different image.
Oh. Sorry,
My fault. My fault.
it's nice though.
Make it
You can still judge it.
I could still judge it, yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
forget that. Look at this.
So it's a really nice sports action shot. You get a lot of the rooster tails off of the boats. I like when that's done where the water actually covers any of the stuff in the background. A lot of times you're catching boats or buildings and whatever on the other shore there with the water out like that as it covers everything up. It's sharp all the way through. You can see the writing on it. You can see the person in the cockpit. 13. Nice job of a portrait. I like that the way the hat and the shadow is. You can still see his eyes. I believe that the background, the yellowish color and everything, that could be toned down just a little bit. It's a little bit too bright. Brings your eye away from the subject. But overall, it's a nice portrait capture. 12. I'm pretty sure that the snow doesn't look like that after the last couple of days, so. The snow really looks dirty right now with everything melting. It's a neat capture. The snow actually, you can see the detail in the snow, which is good that it's not totally blown out. I think down the bottom right-hand corner it could be a little bit blown out. But overall, it's a nice capture, 12. So one of the nice thing about this is you get the water moving slow, so you get the slower shutter speed there, and it also means that the clouds give you a different view. It's a unique angle. There's a couple areas where it looks like it's a little bit blown out as far as the weights, but overall it's a nice capture. 13. So everything is in focus all the way through. It holds the focus. The detail is beautiful. I'm going back and forth between a 14 and a 15 on this one. That's how good it is. 14. I'm guessing a drone shot. Nice sunset. I'm not too sure that the colors are not a little bit blown out, but it's a nice image. Like I said, I believe it's a drone shot. 12. This is very well done. Everything on the bird, everything is in focus. The whole idea of the second, whatever the weed is, that being out of focus really works with this type of an image. Probably could cut a little bit off on the left-hand side, but other than that, this is nice. 13. Well, everybody that knows me knows my likes of black and white and the trains. I mean, this one is the leading line of the track on the right-hand side, the detail on the train itself. This is a 15. Beautiful job.
Honorable mention for Bob Hart.
This is for Prince. That's it for Prince. Gotta break the thick stuff down. No. Well, just break it. I like the train, huh?
What's that?
You like the train?
I like the detail on that black and white. It was very well done, you know.
I like them black.
Like I said, you know my thing with black and white anyway, so.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
10 o'clock on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I hope. I just got a call from Tim Phelan. A studio that I rent, he and 4 other guys, including Marty Tim, have a place at the Willitzer Commons building, and we've had trouble with roof leaks. They just had another panel come down while Tim was shooting, and it was right above the rolled paper backgrounds.
Okay.
So one is soaked, and he says, as soon as you finish here, come on over, we got to tear the whole thing down.
Yeah.
So
if you ever need a place to shoot, because she's staying with me.
Yeah. You know, I'm hoping I can shoot there because I'm comfortable there.
Yeah,
and I know, you know, I know what I'm going to shoot there. And you know, but if I go over tonight and it's a mess, I appreciate the offer because I may take you up on it.
I mean, he's shot there dozens of times, so. Ray shot me a few times, but usually he doesn't like shooting at my place. He wants to shoot at his. So, so, and that's understandable.
I mean, sometimes I've shot with Ray, and that one studio he's got with this huge, gray painted, you know, wall. It's like
the second background. Yeah.
You know, to me, that's great because I'm always having to fill, cut, paste, whatever, the rolls of paper because, you know, we got such a low roof in this studio that we have right now. You know, I mean, you know, so it's, we'll have, you know, I may take you up on it.
Yeah, like I said, because like I said, the difference is I have to leave at 9 to get to your place at 10.
Yeah.
If we're shooting at my place, you have to leave at 9 to get to my place. So
right, no, and I normally we're actually planning on being at the studio by 8.
Yeah.
To spend 2 hours of setup. You know, because that's usually I'm not all that fast setting things up and
what these guys know is when they have a concept of what they want to shoot and everything, is a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put a set together. And then we go from there as far as
the concept. I was sort of looking through internet stuff and whatnot, and I don't want to copy someone, but I'm not beyond stealing someone's idea kind of thing. And the photographer did a shoot where he had a dancer with a very blousy costume, lit her with a grid and hard light, just one light across.
Right.
And allowed her not only to take a picture of her dancing, but also having a good shadow on the white wall.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that way you get the shadow and her, and depending on how she turns. So a couple of his shots, he turned her into the light, which now you're getting sort of a profile shot of her, and the shadow is kind of just like a rod.
Right.
But when they face you, you may not get the full appreciation of what they're doing, but you see the shadow, and the shadow, because now it's side lit on the shadow,
right,
it's a lot more detailed.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of doing something like that because I know she's a dancer.
Oh yeah.
And so that would be interesting. I don't know what kind of costume she has for that, because I just saw it today as I was sort of pursuing. It's like, that's a great idea. I hadn't even thought of that.
So she'll come usually with a set of body suits, and then I've got I don't know what she'll be carrying, but I've got some skirts that I use. In fact, the one that's hanging over in Rochester right now is one of them. No, it's over there. But so I've got a couple different skirts and stuff, and so I've got quite a few different things that she can wear for dance. So so.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking is also I have 2 dancing outfits, which they're likely attires, but they also have the tulle little skirt on it as well, you know, attached and sewn in, both red and white. I probably just choose the white if I'm going for black and white because I'm just really looking for the shadow and the contrast kind of thing. So, but you may get a call. I mean,
No, like I
don't know
said.
what kind of disaster we got there. The problem we're facing is that the custodian is ill, so nothing is getting fixed.
Yeah.
Because we've had problems now in the last, I think, two months of water. And then, of course, when it got really cold, obviously there was no more problem. But now that it's warm again.
So one of the good things with using the optical spot, you can really focus on her and the shadow. I mean, really sharp. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
See, I don't. What he did is that his studio, the photographer that was showing that had the pictures online, has such a huge studio. I mean, it looks like a 3,000 square foot garage, with a 20-foot ceiling and whatnot. He's got the light probably 12 feet back from her, and she still has maybe 6 feet from the background, so that even her image is relatively sharp between the grid and the light, and the light being farther away, so that by the time it gets to where the rays are pretty much parallel.
You get the honor of picking the ticket.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, you may get a call.
Like I said, it really is no biggie because the lights and everything, the setup and everything is right there. It's not that I have to go get it out or anything like that. So.
Okay. All right. I'll give it some.
And actually, I've got the optical spot. It is still on one of my stands, so it's ready. I only have to pull it out. So. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Steve, I told you I'd bring you some film.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Let me leave it here, okay?
So you know it's there.
Nice. Thank you very much.
All right, folks. For the drawing here, we got actually $24 this time. It's a pretty hefty pot. Winner take all.
So how much are you guys paying me for judging, okay?
Go ahead and read it.
The last three numbers are 952.
Thanks, Steve.
You get it?
No, the club's got it. Take it.
Wait, I gotta check mine then. No,
I just like the thrill of winning.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
It's right there.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Give it to the club.
All right. Thank you.
They'll put me in a different tax bracket than I
How many do you have? Okay. It's not bad.
Go back a couple of years, be 100.
I was going to say, come on, we used to do 150 sometimes, just on the digital, so 50 is no big deal.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a nice winter scene. The white's a little bit blown out. It seems to be fairly well as far as the focus is held all the way through, but like I said, a little bit of the blown out white, and then from a standpoint it's a nice image, but it lacks the impact. So 12. without even saying a whole lot about it, it's a 15. You definitely captured the image correctly. I love the movement. Anybody who knows when I do the session on movement, when I show the ones with the airplanes, is for them to be moving through that part of the scene where you know where the plane went from and where it's going to. Just a beautiful capture. I love it.
Honor award for Jeffrey Hayward, fireworks plane.
So the same thing I said before with the hard copy is the concept of having that water covering anything in the background makes the images a lot better, that you don't have the noise of houses and trees and stuff like that. This one is head on, so you're not be able to see through the windshield that much. When you're shooting something like this, is you probably want to be using a filter to keep the glare off of the glass. But other than that, it's a nice capture, 12. Well, there's your impact.
Run away!
There's absolutely nothing that you could say against this one. The focus is correct. It does have a fall off on the back, which is great. You know that it's on some sort of a branch or a tree, but it doesn't take away from the image of the snake itself. Very well done, 15.
Honor for Janet Kraft, a serpent smile.
It's a nice capture, but it's hard to see the separation between the background and the ape itself. It holds the focus pretty well through the fur of the ape. But there are some focus issues and everything. I love the eyes on that one, by the way. 13. So there's a whole lot going on here. It's very noisy. I'm not sure whether that's rain coming in or whether it's a treatment. But you've got 3 or 4 different images all in this one. But it is noisy. The stuff from the halfway down the bottom section is an image itself. A little bit blown out down there in the whites. With that white down there, now I'm thinking that that's snow coming into the whatever the building is or whatever. 12.
Honor award for Anthony Anzalone, snow through the factory window.
So this one, it doesn't have the amount of contrast that's needed, and it's a little bit flat. You actually lose a lot when you actually get in to see the dark areas up on the cranes and down low where the trees are and everything, as it's blocked out with the blacks there. I like how the reflection in the water of the 2 cranes, pieces of the bridge. 12. So nicely done. I myself would take this as a fraction off with, crop a little bit off the left-hand side so it's not dead center. But the background is handled well, and the feathers and everything are very, very sharp all the way through. There's a couple places where it starts falling off a little bit, but very, very well done. It's 14. So the detail is sharp all the way through. It's held. I'm making a big guess that this may be infrared. If not, the treatment gave it the appearance of a infrared. The sharpness is, like I said, the sharpness is all the way through. The dead center, the rocks that are there are a little bit too blown out. And so to see the detail, it's too bright. You could tone down those rocks dead center. But it's a nice capture. You got the bush on the bottom right-hand corner. It's sort of like cut off. But overall, it's a nice image, 12.
Honor award for Sandy Silvestri, A Whole New World.
So where we talked before about the people in the background getting in the way, this one, the way it's handled with him being up in the air like that, even though you've got all those people down at the bottom, it gives you a good idea of how high he is, so it provides a perspective that, and like I said, without the noise of the people right behind the cyclist. Probably I would try and tone down the corners a little bit, crop it a little bit, but overall it's a nice sports capture. And I'm not too sure that the left-hand side, it could almost be more square with the left-hand side of the wooden structure and everything on the left-hand side taken off, and like I said, just make a square out of that. 11. Definitely catches your attention, so you can shoot any of these things where if you're in the middle of the day, which I'm assuming this is right in the middle of the day, you can tone this down a little bit in the brightness and everything. You can do that with your software if you weren't able to do it in your camera. So this is a little bit too bright for the subject. You can also take your background and tone that down quite a bit and make him stand out. Detail is there. Focus is held all the way through for the tiger itself. The face up around the eyes is a little bit off for the focus, but 12.
Honor award for Linda A. McKinney, Tiger at Buffalo Zoo.
So the background is handled well with this. The brightness around the head itself, it's a little bit too bright there. The feathers are probably the best part on the lower left-hand side and the neck. It's a nice try, but if you're going to do something like this, the main focus is the head of the subject, and the head is a little bit overblown and not in focus. So these, you shoot these a lot of times, but you've got to watch your shutter speed, because that bird is moving and the head is moving, and so where the body is more held, the head is actually part of the movement, and so you've got to watch that when you're trying to capture 10. Background is done well, the bird is nice. In order for something like this to get the highest scores, you don't want something like this sitting on that angle, or straight up and down like that. You want a little bit of an angle. So if you brought that reed down from partway toward the bottom left-hand corner, it won't change the image itself, but the dynamic part of the image, by putting on an angle, is going to make it a whole lot better as far as holding your interest. And as it is, 13. So for camera clubs, I try and warn them against taking an image, making an image of somebody else's work. And that's what you basically have, is you have somebody else's art of creating this statue. That said, it's a nice capture, 11. So it's a nice architectural shot, angles, light and shadows. It's a little bit flat. And so when you want to go with this type of an image, you really want to watch and get it a really black and white. I believe you may have a session coming up with DxO in the next couple months. And if you ever get a chance to use Silver Effects Pro, it's one of the ones that you can really do a good job of getting the crisp black and white. This is just a little bit muddy. 12.
Honor award for Paul Fitzpatrick, Crossing the Bridge 4.
Nice pano, wide angle. I hate to guess when I look at ones like this, but I'm guessing, you know, no, I won't do it. Similar to what I was just talking about with the bridge, you get the same thing here, is it's kind of flat. You don't have the the detail and you don't have the sharpness of the contrast of the rocks. So it sort of, it loses some of the impact for being less impactful with with not having the contrast, and in some cases not the full black and white. 12. So nicely done. The background, the leaf gives you a good idea of what's there, but yet it doesn't get in the way of the image. The angle really works with getting the wings in from the top left down to the bottom right. You can actually see the veins of the wing in the wings. It doesn't hold focus all the way through, but when you're doing a close-up like this, you really have to watch on how close you or how good you are with the focus. But overall, it's a nice capture. 13. Holds the focus all the way through. So this is one of the things I was asked. I was also judging the program at lunchtime with the senior center, and one of the things somebody asked about was the sky, and I said, you can still use, if you keep copies of images of just the sky that you've captured and put a file together, you can replace the sky with another one of your skies and it's still your work. You're not using somebody else's sky. This one could use a more detailed sky, but the actual subject and everything, sharp all the way through, very well done. 13. Sometimes when I hesitate even talking about it, the first thing I'm doing is my eyes are scanning all over to find at least one point where the focus is supposed to be on the subject. Now you can take this whole thing as all the white area is the subject, but there's very little, if anything, is totally in focus. You have to watch how you capture these. That thistle in the dead center is close to being in focus, but not quite. 10. So one of the things you very rarely hear judges talk about is foreground, middle ground, and background. And this is just a perfectly done shot. Again, some judges would take points off for the tree line that's in the dead center. But I got it. And so the concept of the way this thing is done with the foreground, the middle ground, and the background, and the different shades. Possibly you could play a little bit with the sky a little bit more to get a little bit more color up there, but other than that, Very well done, 14.
Honor award for Sally Brewer, pre-done pastel panel.
So everything is well done as far as the focus. It holds the focus. It's a nice composition. Anytime you put different pieces together like this, is you try not to have one thing overlapping the other. And whatever the film cartridge on the right-hand side, there's a piece there that is not, or it should be separated from the typewriter itself. I know it's a really small thing, but when you're going to do something like this, you've got the control over it. Don't have one piece touching the other on the image. Holds the focus all the way through. Nicely done. 13, I'm sorry.
This is creative, called Chaos.
So I'm really liking this. I like the red really jumping out and slapping you in the face, but everything else is, you're trying to figure out what it is and how it's been done. Yeah, I like that red, the way it's presented with there's a little bit of off-white color at the very center. But overall, it's very well done. 15.
Honor award for Robert Miller, Chaos.
So these are tough to shoot. But I like the interaction between the two players. It's almost like they're battling with each other at whatever the song is going on. I like the background, the way the background is handled. The brightness in the white on the top right-hand corner really doesn't bother me. The same way with the yellow above his hat is, I think that actually helps make the image. Yeah, pretty nice capture of a different type of action. 13. So in captures like this, I don't mind having one specific area of the subject totally in focus. This one misses the focus just a little bit. But the other thing is, if you're going to crop an image like you're doing here on the left-hand side, don't do it just a little bit. Really crop it if you want to. Otherwise, show the whole object itself. When you crop just a little bit like that, it just basically doesn't work. The other thing is the two bright areas, one on the bottom right-hand side where it's the yellowish green, and then the green right dead center. Those two could be toned down just a little bit. 12.
Honor award for Linda McKenney, Hibiscus.
So your eyes can travel all the way through here. Everything is in focus all the way through. It holds the focus all the way through. There could be a little bit of blown out in the white at the bottom, but I can see a lot of detail down there in the snow. And again, with the clouds in the sky, the way it's done, I think this is very well done. Again, when you do something like this, having somebody walking through back there in the trees with a red coat on or something really would make this image just that one little bit better, but as it is, 14. So you got people from the camera club sitting on both sides there with their cameras, or? So it ends up being sort of a action shot with the barge coming through. I like the angle from the bottom left-hand corner with the canal going off to the right-hand up at the top. That the edge of the canal on the right-hand side, again, is another leading line. So you've got the leading lines. The building or whatever it is back on the top left-hand corner, with that being white or bright like that, it brings your eye over there a little bit. And that detracts from the image. "13.
Honor award for Jack Norton, New Bridge arrives at Block 29.
Well, there's a nice full image of leading lines. And I like how the trees are basically framing the image as well. Nice concept. Take the shot again and have somebody walking on that yellow line. But as it is, 13.
Honor award for Glendolata Fall Forest Lawn.
When one's like that, always think about if the image is basically everything's correct technically and composition-wise, and then where it falls off is you don't have that one extra piece that is the piece that's the impact. And so by adding somebody, a dog, a person, whatever, down that yellow line, way off in the distance even, is it gives you something to follow your eye down the leading line to something. And if you don't have that something there, then it's where the image loses a little bit. It's a nice capture, nighttime with the lights inside the, I don't know what it is, but it's a nice capture. 12. When you take these type of shots, learn how to do 2 to 3 shots with different settings, whether you're going to do a HDR, or you can do the 3 different shots, do two stops up and 2 stops down, and then compare what you have. If you use HDR, it would probably make this one a little bit better. The white is so, in the window is so white, you really can't tell what's there because it's so blown out. The overall image is a little bit, I think it's a little bit flat, and you don't have the contrast and everything. You've got all the right pieces there, so it's how you handled this. And you can do a lot of work with this image here in software, post-processing. But again, that window at the top is so, the light coming through there is so white. You have to be able to handle that with, like I said, either HDR or end up shooting it at 3 different, settings and see if you can pull the 3 of them together. 12. I think that one has a lot of lot of potential. This one is very well done. Your sharpness all the way through, the treatment of the sky, the reflections. Yeah, the reflections on the water all the way through. This is 15.
Honor Award for Tom Kerr, Oakfield.
Shooting fire at night is very difficult, and this one is handled very well. The reflection on her. So this is where you can do something on here where you can actually make this just a little bit better in that you handled the fire, but then her face and her body is just a little bit too bright. You can tone down her face and her neck and use the fire to do what it's supposed to do as far as lighting her. It's brightening her face so much that it could be toned down just a little bit. But otherwise, capturing fire at night is, this is a very, very well done. 13. I like the cropping on this. I like your background. The flower, the feathers are sharp all the way through. You've got little highlight in the eye. 14. Not creative?
Didn't say so.
Okay. It's quite busy. It takes your eye all over the place, anywhere from the flower down the bottom right to the main flower. You got pieces of flowers in other areas. It definitely has your eye, sort of jumping all around. The white area down the bottom right-hand corner, that whole area down there brings your eye down there away from the red in the dead center part of it. But it's a nice concept. 12. I like how this is using the leading line from all the way on the right-hand side where you got the road coming down to where the car is, going around the curve, and it's going to go back out on the right-hand side. So that's one image itself. Then you have the foreground, which is totally different. I like the colors in there. You can probably bring the colors up a little bit on the foregrounds in the rocks and everything. Nice concept. You could probably lose the left-hand side on where the rock is coming up on the right-hand side, or on the left-hand side, I'm sorry. That one, I'd say the last image or inch or 2 inches on the left-hand side probably don't act anything on this, but otherwise it's a 12.
Honor award for Beverly Goldschmidt, Sunset Drive.
Going to say a really good attempt, very well done as far as the capture of the wings up the way they are. Unfortunately, that white on the right wing, the top part of the wing, and you could probably, well, I was going to say you could probably take the background down a little bit, but it's sort of okay the way it is. Yeah, the white area where you lose the detail on the right-hand wing, the top of the wing, unfortunately, and the back of the tail, those areas are, that blown out portion detracts from the image. But otherwise, I mean, the concept and the capture was really a good job, a good try. 13. Again, when I look at these, I'm looking for if the camera, this is where you get into the technical portion, and is the camera setting, and everything is in focus no matter how far away from the camera that you are. So that's correct. Overall, it definitely has your eye jumping all over the place, which is what it's supposed to, being it's a spinning action. Very, very interesting, very good capture. 13. So nice zoom. You get a good idea of what it is, but yet you don't know everything that you're seeing with the traffic, the movement. Doing it zoom with the M&T Bank being almost the focal point. You can see some areas all the way back on the horizon back there that are sort of in focus as well. So the way this was zoomed and done, as wide angle as it is, it's a very interesting image. 13. Nice snow capture out at the harbor. it's a little bit flat. And with something like this, where you may want to go is lose a little bit more on the left-hand side, and you can see where the seawall on the right-hand side is right at the very corner down there. If you gave a little bit more on that side, to me, that would give you a lot better idea of what you're and where you're seeing it from. But like I said, it's pretty flat. It doesn't have the detail. 12. The leading line is, it really brings your eye from the upper middle left all the way through to the middle bottom. That leading line brings your eye there. Then you've got a second leading line of the fog below the windmills. And the overall idea of the haze and the fog hanging down there in the lower area, and often the distance behind between the windmills. But then as sharp as what the house itself is, you know, pretty well done. 14. Nice bit of an action shot. The water is moving all the way on the bottom right-hand side. It looks like the poles are actually shooting water up. Holds focus where it needs to be. Nicely done. 14.
Honor award for Richard Roche. Muscles are good.
I think Mama is not happy right now. Well, to be able to isolate the animals away from the background by going with the black really works. It doesn't hold focus all the way through, but it's a nice capture. Yeah, like I said, your eye focus goes around and you're trying to find where the focus actually holds and where it doesn't hold. 12. Nicely done. The water drops on the hood of the car. The actual cropping is dead center. The angle is a nice angle too, so you're down low so you're not seeing the whole hood. Yeah, this one definitely it's very interesting the way it was shot. 13. So I like the way, as you go up the ornament from the bottom right where everything is in focus, you lose your focus as you go out to the top left, and then the background goes out of focus as well. The way this is handled, done very well. I would probably give it just a fraction more below the ornament down the bottom area where the chrome actually touches the edge of the image. It doesn't lose a whole lot, but that's anytime you're taking a subject like this and you don't quite keep it away from the edge of the overall image, there's just a little bit there. But overall, this is nice. 13. Definitely interesting industrial shot. Holds the focus all the way through from bottom to top. Yeah, I'm not too sure that the square actually works on this. Both the left and right hand sides you could lose a little bit there and go more to a portrait shot. But overall, the concept is very interesting, like I say, for a industrial shot like this. And again, the sky is what it is. You could replace the sky, but this is what you submitted, and this is a 12. So what happens here is the first thing that happens, although I'm looking at the bird, that my eyes keep dropping down to the bright area of the grass down the bottom. If you tone down that grass, it'll keep your eyes up on the bird itself, which is your subject. It's a nice portrait of the bird. You definitely, with the yellow of the eye, it really stands out. And the feathers, yeah, pretty well all the way through. 13. Nicely done. The focus is there. Obviously no background. Similar to what I said before is if you bring the stem up from maybe an inch in from the left-hand side, if you bring the stem up on an angle, it makes it more dynamic than what you have right here. You've got a curve, but if you move that off on more of an angle, it just provides a little bit more 14.
Honor award for Sandy Silvestri, the dance.
So a nice architectural shot. I like the way the shadows go through the circular area and put the shadows in the background. Watch when you put something like this out. where my eye jumped for some reason all the way in the very top left-hand corner, that little triangle of the next beam, unfortunately, that brought my eye over there, and it's not useful in that image at all. So that left-hand side, you could just cut that little bit out, regardless whether you take it out or whether you crop on that left-hand side, just that fraction there. I like this when it's a 13. I would also urge you to try this in black and white and see what it looked like. Nice dull image, right? No color in this one at all. So like a couple of the other ones where I say you have more than one image here, the pulleys and the piece on the bottom left-hand corner, that's one image. The whole piece on the right-hand side, about 2 inches in on the right-hand side, that whole different color of red over there, all of that is another image. It brings your eye all over the place. But it's all a very interesting capture. 13. These are every once in a while when I see ones like this, I don't know that this was 100%, that horizon is perfect across the horizon there, whether it's, in my eye, I think it's tilted just a fraction, but it doesn't take away from it. Just one of the things you need to watch for is that horizon really needs to be perfectly straight. The concept of the clouds with the sunbeams coming through, the train tracks coming across the bottom with the boats sitting there. This is one of those ones where you frame this and you can hang this on your wall. This is a 15.
Honor Award, Beverly Goldschmidt, rounded.
So it's a nice travel image. One of the things that I would do is I would be the bottom right-hand corner and all that gravel and the road, I would tone that whole thing down. It's way too bright, and it doesn't balance well with the trees and the sky, plus the train itself. So you definitely need to tone down that whole bottom right-hand corner from the tracks all the way down to the corner, that whole bright area. Yeah, like I say, it's a nice travel capture. I like the guy in the conductor or whatever with the yellow on in the train. That's before when I talked about, having something to bring your eye. This right here is the focal point of the train. You can follow the train, and there's this guy sitting back there. So it brings your eye to him. So yeah, with the darkening of the bottom right-hand side, it's 12. I think you could probably bring it up to a 13 by bringing that right-hand side down tone it down a little bit. So a period piece like this, very well done. I think you get a little bit better contrast to it, but other than that, 12. It definitely gives your eye a chance to jump all over the place. You've got all those people on the left-hand side. There's some people on the right-hand side, but the ones on the left side really, catch your eye with all the people over there, where your subject is obviously the bar, or I'm assuming it's a tug pushing a barge. The details held all the way through. 12. So I love shooting in these prisons. I'm assuming this is just another one of the prisons. The rust, the detail, the light with the bars, the shadows going across the walkway, and the detail in the ceiling. Nice capture. Again, I think a little bit more contrast to it. It's a little bit flat, but overall it's very well done. Capturing your eye all the way down that aisle. 12. It's very interesting to where you've got the subject of the, I'm assuming it's a toy bike versus the background with the graffiti back there. Definitely with the weight, with the snow, you definitely, all the detail is in the snow, so it's a nice capture. 13.
Honor award for Anthony Anzalone, factory bike.
It's a nice portrait. When you've got something with as bright as her face is versus the hair, you lose the detail in the black of the hair. You want to be able to see the hair as well, instead of it's sort of blocked out with the black. But it's a nice pose, nice capture. 13. This is one of those ones where you think it's a creative, but you didn't get a title for creative, so I'm not too sure what it is, but I sort of like the detail of it. Again, when you're putting something like this together, is all the way down the bottom right-hand corner is your subject. It goes against the stroke, the white down the bottom. You want to keep the whole subject in the frame of the image. But it's very interesting. Definitely don't know what it is, but it's something to look at. Yeah, still trying to figure out what it is. 13. Nice fair image. I like with the sunburst. The people are basically looked at, as silhouettes rather than the detail of the people. Probably with software, you could go underneath of the circular piece of the machine and pull out some more detail and some, basically just pull some of the image out underneath, like I said, the bottom part of that circular piece. But overall, nice concept, capture, 11.
That's it.
By any chance, do you remember the picture was inside the building, and it was inside a building, inside a room, and you said it needed to be like HDR?
Yes.
Okay. And so the question I have is, you had a wall coming in this way, which led you to the window.
Right.
And then the window was here, and it had a nice sunlit, like the sun rays on the floor, kind of bringing you back home.
Right.
And then there was another little room over here, which I guess on composition, I maybe would have done something different. But the question I have is it better to have something like that where a wall brings you to